Okay, just getting seated up. Don't want to hear myself. That must be sounding weird. We can have it smaller. I think it's about that. Probably about that-ish. And then if I pin that, now I go here, I can make one the right size. Same as on this one, we probably want to do it this way around. These are the services allowed to do. That's fine. And then I'll put my DBs on 5. Okay. Okay. So last stream, with the YouTube, it's like the reader, I know that I'm saving words and I want to save sections, because in YouTube I want a little circle that goes down each section, so I need to split them into sections. I did it manually by manually inserting a div before and after in the map, but then I realized the best way to go is, and I don't remember exactly why, but the best way to go is to have sections even in the normal reader, and then not have to manually section it, like make the reader process sections rather than just tokens. Each word is a token. It's like currently on the reader it's an array of tokens. So if I make it a section, an array of sections of array of tokens, then I can make this look the same and have sections in both places. The reason why for sections here is because if you click on it, like there should be like an expand and expand the translation. And that will also work when we're processing any like book or anything like that. Once we hit a new line, we can consider a new section. And if there's like new line, then we just don't create the section if there's 2 new lines. Or like a new line that's empty, just say that. But we keep the need to keep the formatting. Maybe. No. Oh, we don't need the data to contain the extra new line. We just space them out. So the first thing I'm thinking is the content startup sends it to processing, does it? Post, processing, process page. Processing, core. So handler is going to be process page. And there's a YouTube one that I can follow that does similar, and it's working. So, oh no, this just adds video to queue. But then process page, that's one that's going to have the tokenizing. So core page, process page. So we just tokenize the text. But then in the YouTube version, what do we do? I want to tidy this as well, because you can see there's worker stuff here. Like all of this is worker code, and then we get to the process video. It's strange that, oh no, here's your process to tokenize ups. We get the transcript, and then we tokenize the sections. Yeah, so it's each, and I don't think this is poorly performant either. Like tokenize is like it goes, it's a loop that goes through every single character and identifies when a word starts and stops and punctuation and stuff like that, and in every language. So it would be slower. Like it's faster to just put all of the text in. But It's not. It's only marginally slower, I think. But then if you remember, the processing all of the library took 5.8 seconds. It might take like 6.5 now. This is what we will be needing. And then we do sections equals page dot, if I remembered Golang, it's like dot split on the new line. No, that's JavaScript brain. Holy moly. Strings dot split on the new line. Import strings. And then sections for yes, if section, if we're splitting on a new line, yeah, if it's just empty, then we break. So if we've got a new line, then a new line, I'm assuming the split will just make an empty one. I don't know actually if when you split. I wonder if I can quickly do that. Research. Add split.go. Let's just research, I guess. Func main, and then we're gonna var my string read new line this. Well, we could do it with enters, can't we? So we can do new line this, like that, text, full stop, and then splits, print the split. Why is it saying main? What package is this? Main. Now it's complaining it's got a main function. We can probably just comment all of this out for now. Or we can do... I guess we can just add the package main, make it empty. Then split should work. CD projects Langfire, go run, research, split.go. Does that work? FT dot. So what we'll do is split for range of split. Let's add the index I plus, why not? Like that. Okay, so then if we're saying we're going to ignore this section, so if section is this, continue, although that's a bit, you can invert the condition. Yeah, okay. That's what we were hoping to get at the output. So just making sure the split works correctly. Because there are more than one new line, right? Let's try it with new lines like that. Do we get the same output? No. Do you have to escape it? Same effect. Okay. I think that's working as we want it to. So that's correct then. If section equals blank, continue. Okay, and then what does YouTube do with these? So it does still process them in one array. So var tokenized, and then append them. Currently this would have no effect. All we have now is this variable of tokenized sections. That's the only difference. Well, the difference being that it's trimmed out all the new lines. I think I need to add a section to the page model. Like a lesson section. Where are my models? Content. Service data responses. I mean, we can just go to page. Oh, I can't do go to definition on page. Oh, I can. So now I'm a little confused because I thought I already was in the model.content. Oh, I was. It's just I was scrolled down. I didn't notice that I was like all the way down here like this. Yeah. So it's just up. So page is gonna have, if we go to the YouTube model, if YouTube, where's the transcript section live? Oh, as a response. I don't care about responses. I'm just trying to. So sections, transcript data, transcript section. Oh, service data again. A transcript has a transcript section. So this is equivalent to our page. So we need to add this model for our page equivalent. So page ID, content ID, page type, title text. If we just start by copying this, I guess we need to migrate it as well. Do we? Briefly think about the database. We've got a page token here. transcript section ID. So a transcript gets all of its sections, and the section gets all of the transcript tokens associated with the section. I wonder if that's like an unnecessary step. Oh no. We do need to add it and then migrate it. So ID is fine, transcript ID, this is going to be page ID. I wonder if I could just, how I could do a search and replace online in one keystroke. Transcript to page. Do it here as well. Page section. We don't need a duration offset. We probably need a sequence order language, and that's fine. And then page token, instead of page, it's page section ID. And then it's just a migration in the content. Interestingly, there's transcript token here, but not page token. And I probably want to be consistent on that. So in the token service, it says, oh yeah, because I was, wait, what's the error here? Oh, because I changed the struct, that's fine. You have token and page token. So this is fetching, so this has token ID and it's in the same database. So there is a like foreign keying aspect to it. But I don't actually use foreign keys. So it should be potentially fine to just move. If we just move these to the content. I'm not sure that that's like this. Starting to feel like we need a content DB. What's in the typical migration? Just yeah, it's kind of nonsensical for me to be putting the YouTube videos in here and not the pages. So that would mean that at this point we've already fetched the page from the DB here, but that I see the conflict. The conflict is it makes sense with processing to get the text because it gets it from an API, the YouTube API, but to get the page we need to get it from content, which means we need to send it from the content before we do the request. As part of like the payload. Is it already a post? Yeah, so we can stick it in the body. But then I'm a little lost with that in the handler. That's interesting. So it parse and validates the page, even though in process page, it checks it for existing. So that means we just need to check the existing beforehand. So let's get rid of this, and then all of this condition we can take with us. In fact, this would be better this way, because when the library is actually processed, it still sends requests, like 140 of them. But the request just says it exists and finishes, which takes like 150 milliseconds. With this, instead, we will be checking it inside the content startup. So here, I think we can do it here. And when it says return false, if error ID equals does not equal 0. What do we do? Well, we're in a loop. So I get it's like we either I guess we could so this is an option. We could just continue, but then we might be missing a page without knowing it. If we log, then it could be lost in a sea of logs. But if we force it to end, maybe like we panic. If we force it to end, then at least we'll be forced to fix it, but then we'd be running into having to fix it. And because that might be halfway through, when it comes to, once the error is fixed, it won't have to process the first half because it'll check for them for existing. Cool, that's pretty cool. Also, this was debugging that I don't need anymore. Okay. This works so far. I'm confused because this was getting the existing page, but this DB now is not content anymore. Oh, it is content. But what DB calls does this do overall? So ORM. Yeah, it's connected to content anyway. Oh, but then... No, this is token. Now I'm confused because this wasn't actually hitting the DB. But then what database is this to? So this is the issue, is this used to be token DB that it was getting it from, but now it needs to be hooked up to the main DB. What DBs are we working with on the content service? So LFTB, yeah, so, and then processing is token, but now processing can just be content, I think. But let's confirm that. So content service is fine because it's using the normal database. So if we switch this over to token, all we need to do is check for ORM and see if it goes to the token ever. So that's page tokens, that's still content now. Like these used to be token, but they are now content. That's got not even a single, yeah, because this uses service post. But what does it, so service from transcript service, that's fine. Create sections, yeah, that's what we want to do. I think I think the YouTube processing was using the token service by requesting every single time it accessed the token DB. But the page processing was literally just going straight to the DB. So I feel like I need to update the page processing to use the service for this change. And then after that, it only has these content fetches in token. Is it in token? Yes. Create page tokens. Yes, so this needs to be changed over to content. So that makes sense. So the change that I'm anticipating is this would need to just be content, not the TKDB, the standard DB. So now I think, is that good? So the processing service will be, like, it's hard linked to the content DB, but essentially if we did request for the content, we also wouldn't need to hard link to the content, to any DB. It's now detached from the token DB, which means a processing service can, yeah, it's more decoupled, like how I was thinking before. Oh, I know what I forgot to do. Oh, well, no, I don't think anyone's here yet, but I forgot to do this. No, that works. Chat doesn't need to be very big, does it? And I am definitely streaming, right? Yeah. If it's properly decoupled from the token DB, that satisfies the idea of being able to spin up multiple tokens services. I don't know if it's necessary. It's just like a principle of future safety, I suppose. I obviously have to be considering like the old adage of like shooting yourself in the foot with microservices, but I think it's worthwhile in this instance. So yeah, it can rely on the content DB. It's only shooting to content. It's requesting for tokens. Does the page processing request for tokens? So we've tokenized, and this. So we need to create the sections and then create the tokens, but then also associate the ID. But we have something to copy from, which is this process here. So we still process tokenized to upsert token. So we still do that with the tokenized. That's fine. Then wrapper map. Yeah, this is just for assigning the ID. Transcript sections. What's a token wrapper? Token display. Yeah, that's fine. That makes sense. We probably need them for here as well. So we need that. And instead of we do page sections here. Okay. Transcript from service. Still. Let's copy this because this is correct logic. So we have tokenized sections. Transcript from service is not. We make a section out of it. Make a page section. And TS sections. I think it's. Where does it get data from? It's the input. So this would be page ID. And we already have the page going in, so it's lowercase. And then we can also make this a page section, and maybe that'll become valid. ID, page ID. It's a lowercase. No. Ooh, did I screw that up? Yes, I did. Like that. Okay, now it's valid. Yeah, so it's now sections, but we probably want to be calling this page sections for the sake of clarity. Page sections. Redeclared. Let's do text sections. That's more explicit. Then then we can loop over the text sections. We don't need duration. Lang, this is page.language. This is just a section because it's a string. Sequence order is fine, and then page sections is the append. Like that. Am I missing a variable? I don't think. A property. ID page text sequence. Yeah, that's fine. So that's correct. I believe. Okay. Create sections and batches. It asks, well, that's actually funny as well then. So the YouTube processing is completely detached from a DB. Let me get some water. I might make another coffee. I'm not feeling the energy drink so much. But I don't think we need to worry about that. We don't need to worry about sending it as a service. If we go to content, create sections and batches. This is now YouTube sections and batches. Yeah, like transcript sections and batches. Check it exists. And then create sections and batches. This is like the... Oh, so we just use ORM set insert records. Plural. We've already set up the ORM for inserting in batches. So that's what we're doing. Like this. Does not satisfy model because it's not got an ID getter. So now it should satisfy the model. No new variables. It automatically gave me that new assignment, the instantiation. So that does effectively this. If yes, yeah, that's what I do on the other one. Okay. Is it already ordered? This is just a log. Not even a sort. And isn't really very helpful. final sections by... See, it's, why would I warn and then actually order them? So, I'm wondering if this is necessary. This is just a DB check because they might come back in the wrong order when selected. Whereas this should already be... Sequence order is already determined by the loop in the text sections, 17 lines above. So I don't need to reorder them. They're already deterministically ordered. And then what's this? Handle the transcript sections. This is what we probably need to do. Because we don't have a duration or an offset, this is again text sections. Transcript tokens, we don't need, it's not going to be transcript token, it's page tokens. File page tokens. We have a tokenized sections? We do from the beginning. Yeah, they are the tokenized section. For the range, so for the range of text sections, this might not be right. No, it is right. They're not, they're derived, but they should be consistent. And then we do a page token here instead. ID page section. Isn't it weird that the transcript section does not have an ID? Oh, these are actually that is weird. The transcript section is an array. Transcript. Oh, it's in the YouTube model. Oh no, they do have an ID on them, but they're not given yet. No, transcript, yeah, so they do have IDs. But I didn't add them at this point. Like you could do it. Like you could do like page ID equals it's page section ID. I don't know if I get the IDs back for sure. But that's essentially what would be happening at that point. I don't want to deviate from the logic in the other file too much. What do I do next? For range of transcript tokens. This is where I get the IDs, but
That's a bit funky. It works though.
I was right that I can add the page section ID like this, and then I basically avoid this, which I can also do here. I didn't have to do this, but it works, so I'm not going to touch it. Then yank this. Final transcript tokens, and then create them in batches. What did we do in the? We inserted the. So now we need to do the page tokens. That's this. Create page tokens. And token wrappers. Oh, we can just do that. Now let's update the transcript. Then we set it as processed. I don't think we need to. Do we have an is processed on a page? We don't. I don't think we do. We can quickly check. Page is processed, yes. Funny that I feel I don't know where we do that. Do we do it on the in the startup? Like when it comes back? Is process false? Do we actually do this anywhere? We post it and it goes to the handler. We process the page, and at no point here did we set it to processed. So I think that we just had like a bunch with is process false previously. Oh, I need some vape. I'll use this one. I could leave it as a to-do. If it's not already done, we need to set is processed to true. And then we can skip this, and it's done. We're at the same point.
Now the fun part is if it doesn't work.
Because if it doesn't work, debugging it will be a little tricky. So it's typically best to give it a read and see if it makes sense in my head on a slightly higher level than each individual operation. So we split the text and we tokenized each section of the text. What does model.tokenized have? and it is word and is a display. So it's just a string wrapper. And then we append them all and we upsert them. We add the tokens and the displays if they don't exist. So then our tokens and displays are good at this point. We make a wrapper map, but that's only useful for getting the ID down here. Page section. In the text sections, we loop over them. We add the text. I mean, you could blank the text. Because do we save the text? I don't want to crush my database with loads of text. Where's the start? No, we do send the text. Check for the existing page. If it's nil, create page tokens. Out of the token wrappers. What does create page tokens do? Well, it's broken. So is get page tokens. But where is that used? Okay. These need to be moved because now the ORM, this is in... No, it doesn't need to be moved, it's in the processing, so it's fine. But these errors need to be handled. Ah, see page.text here. So we do blank it. But I think that only makes sense when we have the library. When we're uploading, someone's uploading something, we probably want to save the text. Like, let's say like a book. If we don't have the text saved anywhere, then there's no way to restore it if it's processed in error. If you have the text, you can reprocess it without asking them to upload it again. We can add like a note. It depends on if we're thinking of using process page for... We are. We probably want to not do that then. Where does page ID come from? We insert the page. So it's not just creating the page tokens, it's also creating the page. Where else is this used? This can go from here at the end. So essentially we can extract it, I mean intract it, like the opposite of extraction. So here that's essentially what that was doing. Let's keep it for reference. that's what we're replacing. What's our return statement here? False error. So we can solve that error first. Model.page token. What is a signature? It's just a file down, so we can delete that and add it here for reference, so we know what the function signature was. So page tokens, we've redeclared it. Wrappers comes in as a token wrapper. We should have wrappers. They're called token wrappers. We already put the token wrappers in, so that just changes to token wrappers. Token wrappers. Oh, I should be zoomed in a little bit. Oh, that's like very zoomed in. Maybe it's a bit much. Did we already insert the sections? Yes. So now we should be good to... We don't actually need to insert the page at this point. Well, if we insert it at this point... If we insert it at this point, we avoid having to update it. We've already done the page tokens. I see a little bit of... So now page token is missing get ID, which is wild. Oh. We need to collapse it for all page tokens. And then for... Well, shouldn't we just be able to spread it? Like that. And we do all page tokens. Do we already use the page ID? We do. Which means you do want to do it early. And then you can do page ID here. Page.id. We don't do it anywhere else, but just one page ID assignment. That's fine. I want this to stop. Now we want to update it. Error. What was it called? Update record by ID. I'm guessing it establishes the ID. Yeah, that's why we have the models. That's actually a good way. That's actually
How I should be doing it at work. Instead of identifying the primary key, like they should all have
getters for their own ID. That makes perfect sense. rather than establishing it from parsing. I don't know why why I did that. Also, this is the last operation, really. So now we can have another look at this. We've already done that. We were setting it to true. My one question before I check that that's good is where is this used? It is used in here somewhere. In the get. So we're currently working on saving the data correctly, retrieving it for the front end. That's part of this flow. So we don't need to. We'll save that fixing for when
the data's good.
Although it probably won't run without at least an attempt or commenting it out. Okay, so we start by inserting it. We've already checked if it exists before we send the request. We then tokenize, which gives us a bunch of these tokenized, and we append and upsert them all. We make a wrapper map for establishing the ID later, but then I guess we don't need that at this point. Like, it's just confusing to be there instead of here. We make page sections. We've got the page ID already, that's why that's important there. Then we insert the page sections. So now we've already inserted the page and the page sections. The page has already got the text on it, and the sections have the text. So it's duplication. Can remove the text here as it is on the page. May consider when performance issues arise. Which it won't for a long time. So then we insert the page sections. We make a wrapper map to make the page tokens, and we do that out of the text sections referencing the tokenized sections. Which, yes. And we get the page section ID from, is page sections ID, page sections over the text sections? Do I get the ID back? They're probably going to be zeros. I think we have like a populate function. These IDs are going to be 0 on the page section, so we'd need to do populate here. Populate, go away. Token IDs. While I'm doing this, populate token IDs. Like, I want the actual call, not the signature. So it looks like that. Like that. That's working. Database now needs a... So the token database clearly has a token file. We need to do this, but with is it the case that when you insert a standard, a single record, you get the ID back, but with the batch you don't? Result that last insert ID, which you can't do. I mean, you could do like a returning star, but I think that will slow down the query. So we need to do this, but for not that, this one. We need to do this, but for sections. Let's just take it all. Start with that as a base and just modify it. Content.go. We do page section insert. Page section insert. Page section insert mutex. Init token master. This is yes, we would want to be doing it here. Well, we would want to be doing it here until we pull it out. If we remove the content DB from processing, this would want to live in content. Spelling. Token insert goes to page section insert. Why do we have displays here? Because this function does both. So that's fine. Get token batch IDs. Where's this for? Oh, fetch token by lowers. What? Well, this already exists. We don't need the fetch, we just need the populate. So we just need this. We don't even need there comes a pointer. Where is this used? It's not used. I should install a plugin that shows me the amount of uses per each function for the LSP. Where am I? And then this just needs a mutex changing. So it's populate page section IDs. If we just do this and do token and replace with page section. Ah, no! I typoed. Token, page section. Yeah. And then this is page section master. So this must get called. Where does it get called in the token version? The init. Init token master. Token startup. Token main. This is just a wrapper that does nothing. Like, look. Just returns if it has an error, and so this is literally like a wrapper that does nothing. So then in the main of the processing is where we would, let's get an example. Here, before the serve, startup init workers. So there's startup section after the new handler, yes. Startup init page section master. I'll check that. I'm in the processing service. Content. I want this. Oh, it's not startup anymore. It's database. I mean, that's probably why I wrapped it, is just so that we get to call it startup. Good so far. This isn't token. This is processing database. Instead of populate token IDs, it's page section IDs. Page sections. Now they have IDs. Which is used here. So it's good to check over your work. And the benefit of the speed of the query is when I do a batch insert, I don't actually need to do a select afterwards, which is important for say tokens. Just to break it down slightly, tokens are words, and things like punctuation. So like a quotation mark would be a token, a number would be a token. I don't know if I do like a set of numbers, like 999 is a token on its own. It should just be 3 tokens of 9. Each unique token gets saved to the database, so it's like has a data registration. So if you think about a language like English, we have something to the tune of like 400,000 words, and then a bunch of other stuff. So, and then Russian is also more complex. So, because of all the grammar changes. So in Russian, the last vowel sound changes depending on the grammar position. Like to say like of him, of her, like was, all these sort of like grammatical changes is expressed with the last vowel rather than individual words like constructed building blocks in English. So Russian probably has like 1 million or a couple million, and there are more languages that have that sort of issues. So if we get to the point of like 10, 20, 30 languages, we're probably going to have millions of tokens, like 10 million tokens. So doing a fetch on the tokens after you insert them is radically slower when you have so many tokens. Sure, there's probably like indexes and stuff like that, but if I manage the primary key on my own, then I can add the integer to the uint, if it's a uint, to the model before I stick it in the database. And so long as I keep track of it perfectly, then I'm enforcing primary key ship on my own and don't have to fetch the IDs from the batch insert. Maybe it's not so important on page sections because it's not large. Like I could just do a get after this, but my primary key enforcing has been perfect so far. So why not do, like here I could do like a get record, right? Or I'm like get records. And it'll give me the IDs back. But one, it'll be slower, and two, I've already got this functionality. So let's just go back over it again. When we insert the page, we tokenize the sections, and we append them all so we can save all the tokenized, which is just a display that turns into a display plus a lowercase, and make sure they exist. The page sections, we create a page section out of each text section and have a sequence order. Then we insert them with the IDs populated beforehand. We make a wrapper map in order to get the token ID out here. And then for the page token, so each section, why do we append beforehand? I'm just going to trust that I mean, I'm not just going to trust, but that's likely correct because it was copied over. Of course, because this needs to be an array, like because this is a second dimensional array, we need to first create, like instantiate the second level array before we append to it. So this is going to be a page tokens I. So here's an issue, is my naming has clashed. So this one's going to be appending to this. Like this is now, like this is invalid. Because page tokens is just an array. Oh. Why? Oh no, oh no, I haven't name clashed. This is not an assignment. Like if this was an assignment like that. That I is grabbing this array that was instantiated. So you could do it like in a page token array and instantiate it and then append it on the end. Like append it here. But this is a way around doing that. So are the page sections in the same order? Yeah. How do we make the page sections? The sequence order is irrelevant because it doesn't have to return them from the database at any point. The sequence order is not irrelevant for when you fetch them. Then we insert the page tokens and update. So we've inserted the page, we've inserted the tokens, we've inserted the page sections, then we've inserted the page tokens, which is a many-to-many between the section, like the parent.
Which used to be the page, it's now the page section. And the display and tokens. So,
Again, each word has a display. Like if you have uppercase first letter in a sentence, you don't want that to be registered as a different word. The idea is you save your progress with each word. So just because it's got a capital inside it, usually at the beginning, doesn't mean that you're reading a different word. So you want to save it to the same. But that looks good. Okay. What is wrong with this? We probably want to start from the top. And instead of editing this, because this probably doesn't make any sense, we want to start from the entry point of getting the reader data. The reader data shape needs to change. So handler, content. So there should be a get. So get reader page tokens. This probably just returns a reader. Yes, a reader model.reader. Core.response reader. So that just converts it. Let's have a look. The reader data model probably needs to change. This is going to change a lot because this is getting the page tokens, the tokens and the displays all in one go. But now you can get the page and the page sections from the content. And then I was thinking this is actually hooked up to the content is in the same DB as the API, but we probably want to keep it separately, as evidenced by how I'm getting contents here. This clearly goes to the content. So we need to do get page and page. Wait, it's not just page sections and page tokens from content service. That's what we need to do. And then this one is get tokens for each page tokens. Pages and then reader tokens. What is reader tokens? We need to do sections. So type reader sections. What are reader tokens? Tokens displayed. It's just that. Reader tokens. Reader sections is a reader sections array. Yeah, because essentially an array of sections is the page, and it's only sending an array of pages so you can select a different page. Back to the API. Where were we? I'm confused because I thought I saved progress. I can see my file, one of them, this one, does not have a save. Okay. This can be up here. We'll do something like, let's just have a quick write of what it would look like. Service.get URL. What is get reader data from the content? It could just be like that. Which is, I mean, it's the same as what I was doing below, but this one's going to change to get tokens and displays. I wonder if this already has something like that, but then we could be doing it in 2 requests. What's the token service handler got? It's like we want to get token by lowers and get display by display strings. But we already have the IDs, so we can get them by IDs. But it's like we want one that does both of these at once. Or just allow it to be 2 requests.
Locally, it would be barely a difference. But it's worthwhile for when you deploy it. Is it? Well, not when you... it wouldn't even be a...
We don't actually need the handler right now, like at all. To do, make a handler for both tokens and displays. Displays by ID. We're gonna add the to do here as well. To do, make request for both tokens and displays by ID. I think that's where it would exist. I'm sure it's a post. Get tokens by IDs. What does it need? We don't need any of that. And then I guess this isn't super explicit, but I guess when we go back to the token handler, we could tell what's... So we're going to do token IDs like that. Okay. Now, let's just handle the error quickly. And the reader date. So now we're going to do like var token IDs. And then it's not even page tokens. That should not be valid. Yeah, it's sections. Reader sections dot page tokens. What? Oh, so you do tokens. Oh, really? What's on here? Like what? Let's have a quick look. I thought reader sections, reader tokens. Let me think. Yeah, so I've kind of was stupid with this. You can just do reader sections. Can you? No. Well, yes, but it's so strange that the page tokens, like, page tokens should contain, oh no, they'd contain the ID. So page tokens, yeah, they don't contain it, they just contain the ID, which we don't need once we've already got. So in the responses, pages tokens response is word lowercase display. Yeah, I see, that makes sense. Because all this used to be is that, but now because we're making them sections, we just, so it used to be just one, and now we're making it an array of the same. I see. So, where's my loop here? For reader sections, you'd be like 0 dots. Yeah, that makes sense. For, why is this PT reader section? Yes, like this. I don't think, I think it just has an ID, dude. And then we do the same for the display. And then we populate our IDs. Not enough arguments. So var tokens, it's an array. Might as well do it here. And displays. So that will work apart from just amending the get reader. Like, this doesn't exist right now, and it exists on token. So we need to take it out of token, put it into content, and then amend what it does. It doesn't need to fetch the tokens anymore. Just needs to get. So we need to add the getting of the page sections, and remove the getting of the tokens and the displays. Keep that comment for now. Good morning. What editor is that? This is Neovim. Specifically LazyVim. So if I do like nvim, so cd projects Langfire, and then nvim, and then select your files. I'm sorry if I missed you for a minute. I may not have noticed the chat for minutes. And then this is the project. Each directory is a microservice. Well, not all of them. API is a microservice. Client is the front end. Content is a microservice. Processing is research. That's just me spinning up random Go stuff to check. Scripts, that's just for running the application and like accessing the DBs and stuff. Shared, that's just, so that's a directory that goes across every single microservice. So you've got like models in here and like your web framework and the ORM. Token is a service. Translation is a service. Translator is kind of like a service. It's like a runner. So this will go and request, like, because I've got maybe have like millions of words, it might as well be running in the background fetching the translations. Translation services, as in, do you have some sort of source control? Yeah, I use Git. Although my diff is going to probably be really big. Like, this is all the diff for each file. Because I haven't pushed in a while. So there's quite a lot of changes. Is it built into the IDE? Yeah. Um, I don't know if you have to install something after the fact, but if you install LazyVim, there's a lot already built in, and then you can use lazy extras. If I press, so it's a bit small for you maybe if you're on your phone. So like lazy extras here, I can press enter now. I was like, or I can just press X, as you can see like the letters for the shortcuts. So I press X, and then well, that's not very clear. Oh, it's because I made it transparent, but it's usually more readable than this. And then you can go down, and if I want to have one of these plugins, I just press X on it as well. But I don't want to install any of these. And the same, the ones that I already have installed. Like I have quite a minimal workspace. As you can see, I've got Copilot. If I just X on that, then Copilot's gone. And then languages, Docker, Go, JSON, Markdown, Python, even though I have almost never used Python. SQL, TypeScript, and also the SQL one's kind of crap. So yeah. Is it the free Copilot or you pay with it? I pay. I don't think there is a free one.
Oh, I think the free one is like called Codium or something. As in like it's a different service. I think Copilot is a paid service.
Why has this stopped? I need to loop it for copyright reasons. Currently it's in a broken state, but this is the basic premise of the website. There's YouTube as well, but I can't load one. So the YouTube video is like it's iframed, and this reader's on the side, and then you can click each word. It'll give you a translation of the word. This is English to English, so I mean there are other languages. You can only learn in so many languages, but you can learn more. Like I've got more. That's strange. I must have restricted it at some point, but I'm set up to translate into Korean, I think. Maybe I'm not. I need to look into that. But these are the languages that you can read, and then this is the language that you're translating into. So I'm reading English and I'm translating it into English. That's why Classroom just comes back with Classroom. And then the red one is a level 1 word, yellow is a level 2 word, green is level 3, and then white is level 4. So as you read, and you're getting more and more used to the it's like self-grading. And it's with YouTube it's good too, because you get to like actually watch and listen to someone. And I'm gonna have like probably AI or audio read it out. This already does speech to text, or it did. I don't know if I've muted it. But when I clicked on these words, it would be like was, like that. So inside Tom's classroom, like that. But it's just janky when it's not reading a sentence. So have a audio button for playing it all, and then also people can listen while they walk around and stuff. Can you show me how you're using the Copilot add-on within the LazyVim? Well, I mean, using it is pretty simple. So, like here, for example, in my reader data, I've got sections, and each section has an array of tokens and an array of displays. So it kind of knows, because Copilot has already seen this. So now if I go back, so it knows the shape of the data, so it knows what to infer. So if I delete all of these, Copilot will know that I've got tokens and displays as an array inside this loop. And I've already like put these here, so it knows what I'm trying to create. And then from here, it should, if I type in 4, it's obviously got the first one correct. That's correct, 4, and then like that, and that's how quickly it is. And it got this wrong because it's just ID, like that. So now if I just delete those 3 and do that again, now it'll get it right. So that's kind of like the general way of using Copilot. Is this formatting? Yes, but for some reason it wants to add an extra line there. So it's generally like, if I have an idea of what I'm trying to type, I can help guide Copilot. So I can say like I can say, let's make an array of, so I got the tokens here. Let's make an let's make a string built up of all the displays. Like, so it's like you're prompting it, and then so we'll do a var first. Display string for the range of displays, add the text. Display dot, it should be display dot display, like that, and then I can do like fmt the display, as in print. So Copilot helped me make that quite quickly. That's kind of the idea. Damn dude, that's awesome. Thanks. Yeah, it's pretty sweet. I think it's about $10 a month. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I just want to be able to do things as quick as possible. I want to minimize how much effort it is to write the code after I've thought of it, so I spend more time thinking rather than more time typing. It's also why like I've tried to learn to type fairly quickly. Like it's rougher when I'm doing like var token IDs in comparison to like var token IDs, and it's done. Like I typed half of it quite quickly, saw Copilot suggested it, told Copilot that's good. So that means like writing that variable is it takes very, very little like stress and effort from me. It's like half a second it's appeared and now I can carry on thinking as if I was never interrupted. Well, wait button. What button do you press to let it autocomplete? So I think on VS Code it might be N. Let me check. Var token IDs. No, it is enter. So in Neovim it's enter, but I think in VS Code it's tab. But of course you can edit it, but those are the defaults, I think. So the stage I'm at now is I used to have a get reader data for getting it all, because I'm adding sections now. So what I'm doing is each paragraph was just new line characters. So now because YouTube wants to have sections for a little circle that goes down the transcript telling you where the video is at, I decided, because this output is through a generic component, I feel like they both should have sections. Also because if it's in a section in the reader here, I can open up like a drawer that slides down with the translation of the entire paragraph, because translations are poor when it's word for word. It's better with the context. So I'm adding sections to this. So I used to have a get reader data from the token service, but now I need to remove that. This used to get the tokens, which I've got down here. So I get the displays and the tokens here. So this, when I go find it, it needs to go out of the token service, remove the token fetching because it's already here, and then add the section fetching, and then it should be built just the same. And then this response reader, this changes it from the service data that gets communicated between the microservices to the JSON output. This probably needs to be edited as well. Response reader. Yeah, see here, it's not happy anymore. Let's make this compile happy, and then move the reader data handler. So, and page responses probably need to change the model. So we added this reader sections here. This used to be a reader token like this. Well, it was just like that. but now we made it an array of the same shape and renamed it to sections rather than reader tokens. Because it's an array, say like there's 10 sections, there used to just be one of these tokens display page tokens. Now there's going to be 10 of them. So the response type, where's the reader? Pages and tokens. Selected page is a page response. This needs to be sections. We probably want to move this to above because it's got that reference as a child. And then this wants to be a type reader section. That has the tokens in it. And then sections. Reader section response. Ask it again to do it again. It didn't know. It needs to be reader. So that's the correct shape now. In the core. So page response. rd.pages. I still need that. Let's loop through the pages to get the pages with the page ID. It's basically, we need to do sections. Oh, my trackpad sometimes gets activated. And then we need to loop it's not through the pages. That suggestion is wrong. We need to loop through the selected pages sections. So sections equals, is it the selected pages section? Does it have sections? Wait. Page tokens. What did we change the reader data to? Oh yeah, that used to be this. It used to be here. I hope we're not sending down all of the page tokens for every lesson at once. We might be. It would be selected page. Dot sections. I don't know why that thinks it's oh yeah, range. It doesn't have a sections. What does it have? Oh, this seems irrelevant then. Oh, Copilot was right in the beginning. We do it for the sections. RD. It's not dot pages. It's dot section. Reader sections. Like that. And then all the RDs from here are now page. So let's replace them with page. And we want to do a var page sections. There's a for here, and then page sections append. No, page sections equals append. Doesn't look right. Copilot's looking confused. This is the correct idea. Sequence order. Let's have a look at the data again. Oh, page section is wrong. There needs to be a response. Reader page section. Reader section response. We can get rid of this. Like that. But what does this have on it as well? Just tokens, yeah. That's correct. Page sections. I'm wondering if this is valid now, or if you can extract them. It looks valid. This is such a big change. I wouldn't be surprised if I'm going to be doing some some debugging. So now, get reader data. This bad boy needs to go into content handler. It's in token handler. It needs to now be in content handler. Content handler. Contents. Go to the handlers. Get contents. Get reader data. Okay. Now the token handler. The get reader data. All of this is now a content function. Get contents, get reader data here, and this is ch, still a pointer, content handler, and then get page tokens, and this is ch.db. So now we need to go in, get reader data, yeah, so it's just get page tokens. In the token call get page tokens, this So we don't need any of the token fetching. And pages. Yes, that makes sense. We get all the pages for that content. Let's sort them by the process order. That's fine. Select the first page if there's not a page to be selected. Now we need to do page sections. Page sections. Yes. Get them. And then now we need to do like a get where in an array of IDs. Before we do this, wow, love you. I love your setup, dude. Thank you. I have the minimalistic laptop streamer setup with a uncomfortable chair and a kitchen table. But it's pretty cool to be able to do everything on the laptop, right? Travel with it. I could do a stream from a coffee shop, right? Be a bit weird setting up a camera, but I still would. So the reader data has reader sections. Reader sections equals, it's an array of reader sections. So we do what does page section have? Would do like var reader sections like this. 5DD. And this assignment needs to happen here. This reader page section. What is it? I thought I had that before. Yeah, why not? Yeah. So now all we need to do, all we need to do is do a batch lookup. So because we have multiple sections, so sections have inside them like token ID. So each section is an array of like, so section looks like an array. Can I do any? And then each section looks like tokens like this, and then display, and also page tokens, I think. Yeah, like that. Well, I mean, each section has associated. Yeah, so it's like there's a set of tokens and a set of display ID. So what I would be able to do is like for, why does it want to do that? For range page token, and then we do var page tokens. Yeah, well, we just do that. We do this, but instead of using the page ID, we use the section ID, which is probably going to say it has page section ID. Like, we're essentially doing that, but faster. Maybe I just do a to-do because I can't. I'm getting low on the stream time. Make this a batch request because it's going to be slower, especially when deployed. But then what do we do with the page tokens? It's the reader sections here. We do, is it reader tokens? Is it a reader section? And then oh, we don't do token and displays, but we do page tokens. This has an uppercase P, like this. We do a model dot reader section tokens page token like that, right? It has a page tokens. I guess we are doing it inside like this. Am I auto-completing? Yeah, that's correct. Oh, we do like... Oh, we don't need to do that. It's a page token. Oh, so we just do... Where's page tokens? There's an array of model dot page token without the S. Come on! It's an array. But then, if it's just an array, we just... Why am I doing it like that? Like that. And then, reader sections append. But then we don't need to do it as an array. What am I thinking? But then we just append a model. That's all we need to do. Oh, it decided that it wants to do page section for some reason. There. So that's all we would need to do. Create page tokens. This is in token, we don't need that. Yeah, and then get page tokens is now a content function. Content call. And apparently this is happy immediately. Core.get page tokens. So I think the last thing to do is create the replacer. So if we find a replacer here and just move it into, well, it's not simply that. We move this into content and remove the token to content. Now we need to add the definition. Token is get reader data like that, and it's content get reader data. Content, and we do get reader data, so we can. This is now in content. Content. This is content. We need content here. Yes. That looks good. Where's my definition for this? Here. Where am I? URLXT, okay. So in the content, so this goes to there. There's no other version. So this should be happy now. It is. And replaces as happy. So that means that should be working. This is now happy. That's a lot of changes. We're probably going to fire this and it not work. I guess we can fire it now though. Although what's wrong with this in content handler? This is now content. Do we have any? We have this. Get page tokens. We don't need this. Token. We don't need this. Does this run? Close. We probably need to drop first. But then what do we do to the migrations? Fail to... yeah, so... There's probably a... Yeah, they reference... Page token... So we want to get rid of that constraint. That's fine. Now let's cd projects Langfire sudo scripts db drop. This is going to be magic if it works. It won't work. There's so many changes. Not surprised. I think I forgot to edit this. Content startup. I think I forgot to edit. It's not startup, it's DB. No, it's processing. Oh, but this was complaining about content. Okay, so there's errors in syntax. I know because I probably didn't remove the commas as I removed the foreign keys. Yeah, see this. Let me just zoom this out temporarily so I can check the commas. No. Should be okay. I wonder if I have a SQL syntax. Okay. That's something. Let's go to the models. Page section. Yeah, so we just need this. We can zoom back in. ID. Page. That should be there already. That's okay. Text. That's already been. That's there, yes. Sequence order is the same as these bad boys. Language is the same also as the page. Although the language might be unnecessary. And then create that, update that, delete that. And then this is not page ID, this is a page section ID. This foreign key wants to go here, so we need a comma. And then this page, foreign key page token, this is page section. Foreign key page section ID references page section ID like this. Get rid of that, get rid of all that, double check. And why is it not happy with the formatting? What did I do? Did I do something wrong? Let's drop the DBs. Okay. It migrated.
And it should be the right shape.
How far into the project are you? it's kind of close to getting an MVP, like something that's usable for people with reading content and reading, like watching YouTube with translations. Probably need to do like a profile as well. So with it taking 43 milliseconds, it's obviously done nothing. So I don't know why. We can have a look at the content startup. We don't want to do, we want to just get to the point where it does the service post. Let's do an lf.debug like that. So it is going through them all. This is Copilot not realizing it's not FMT format. FMT dot, oh no, we'll do lf.debug existing page. I get an existing page. So service post processing process page. Processing token process. Let's just do an LF thread. It doesn't hit it. That's fine. It doesn't hit it. Let's just confirm. None of these are processing service, so for some reason it doesn't hit it. Is it a personal project or work? This is a personal project. I'm about close to ending the stream though, and I'll finish debugging this later. So in the content startup, service.post lf query, that should be saying what it's doing. lf.debug. Like, is it not firing the query? That's so strange. Content startup, service post. lf.debug existing page dot id. Yeah, so I know what's happened. It's because the pages have been inserted. That's why it's not doing it again. But if we drop the DB and run it again, we should get further. So it's probably getting to the point of why do we insert the page? So even when I drop the DB, oh, I know why. It's because the DB drop is now needs to be edited. Let's transcripts, db drop. Yes, see, this now's the page token and the page and the, it's not page token display, it's page section. These two are now, oh, three are now content drops. Yeah. No table name found for model tip. That's because in the ORM I need to add in the table map. Where is this? Content. Interestingly, I had it here. So reflect dot type of page section, like that. Drop it again. Record ID must be set. I can look into that, but we're getting closer. That's getting closer to the correct amount of time. So 358495. 3584, this one. Update record by ID. Okay, so this was done in the processor, obviously. And the page must have the page ID. Where do we get the page ID? Insert records. So now we do, oh no, we do page.id. Non-name, so var page ID. That'll work. There are still red flashes, so I wonder what they are. Record ID must be set. Oh, so now it's page.id equals that. That's what I forgot to do.
Only one red flash, although those aren't even red flashing. 4.8 seconds. I mean, that didn't work, did it? Clearly, surely.
Come on. Okay, that's enough Langfire for today. Yeah, that was good. Obviously got to debug that processing, but coded it in principle. Obviously need to adapt the front end. It's only going to receive sections, so the front end changes aren't going to be large. But that should be quite good. We're making progress. Anyway, catch you.